Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is the Valley Business Today with the Luray-Page Chamber of Commerce minus Gina Hilliard, who is their president. Gina is on vacation as we are recording today, but I am not all that upset because Colton Wolf is back on the Zooms with me. Some of you may remember him when he was on the show quite a while back talking about the theater that is in Stanley. What you may not know is that Colton also owns White Wolf Communications Group. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics today, which is marketing. So Colton, thanks for agreeing to do the show with me without Gina.
You're welcome, Janet. I think we'll have lots of fun even without Gina. And I know we would have tons of fun with her, but we'll find a way to go on, right?
We will cope. So tell me a little bit about your communications firm. What do you do? Who do you do it for? Give me some background.
White Wolf Communications Group is really the culmination of a dream that I've had for a very long time. And it revealed itself to me over time. So I got a bachelor's in political science at Virginia Commonwealth University. And my thought was, I'm going to live there. I'm going to build on that. And then what happened? The pandemic happened. And so I had to make the right decision for me. And at that time, it was to come back home here to beautiful Page County. In that time period, I started a hybrid program at Georgetown University in public relations and corporate comms. I did some soul searching and kind of thought about what am I good at? What are my strengths? What are the things that I enjoy? And number one, that's people. I love people. I'm not one of those people that's antisocial. I am 100% out there in the open and enjoy connecting with people and helping people. I've also always been a really good communicator and kind of have a little bit of that PR brain, if that makes sense. So I went and started to learn, and really it started out as a way for me to freelance. I was White Wolf Communications Group, but after I finished up that program, or really before I even finished it up in 2022, we started to grow and take on multiple clients. And what White Wolf Communications Group is focused on is the small and mid-sized business. So a lot of my fellow students and colleagues, they work for very large organizations. I had a couple, for example, one went and worked for Under Armour, one went and worked for Jack Links, which is super duper cool. But at the same time, I was staunch in my belief that small and mid-sized businesses could benefit from the principles of public relations and modern marketing in a landscape that is absolutely saturated with noise. We're not just looking at traditional, what we think of traditional marketing, right? Back in the day, you had TV, you had radio, you had print and live in person, right? These days, you have Snapchat, you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have Google, and they're all competing with one another. So really what we focus on is taking the organization, looking at it holistically and what their goals are, and finding the best mediums and the best strategies to achieve those goals for them and break through that noise.
One of the things that I found, my story is very similar to yours, is I had originally started off working with some of those larger companies. And while I loved what I was doing, I didn't necessarily love who I was doing it for. Because when you're dealing with corporations that during the course of a 3-month project, you go through 4 different points of contact, versus being able to work with those small to medium-sized businesses where in most cases you're dealing with the owner and can see immediate results. You can see how the light bulb goes off in their head, and when they get it, it just makes what you do so much more effective and you enjoy it even more.
Yes, absolutely. And I could not have said it better myself. One of the best things about owning White Wolf Communications Group and working with all of our awesome clients is being able to connect those dots for people when they get to see the results. Like you said, you may be in a larger organization working on a 6-month campaign and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're getting 2 to 5 points of change on whatever the KPI is you're looking at. Whereas we're able to take their social media performance, or we're able to take their digital traffic and boost that in a way that's really meaningful to them. And when that happens, the excitement and the momentum and the inspiration that they get from that, being able to alleviate some of those things that they've been struggling with for a long time, is really where my heart's at. And I also have such a fond love of this area And I've always been very, very proud to be from this area. And really, the dream that I spoke of earlier was being able to find a way to pour my education back into my community. I never thought that it would be this soon in my life. To be honest with you, I never thought that this was where I would be, let's say, building my life, but I'm so thankful that's the case. I used to tell people all the time, who I'm going to marry is not even, doesn't live here. They're from somewhere else. Turns out she's a lovely, lovely lady from Rileyville. So, no, that's not true. But anyway, being able to do this right here in my own backyard and with organizations like PACA that I have known since I was in high school. I was president of their first iteration of their leadership club way back in 2016. And the chamber, getting to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to start a project with Racy Engineering here soon, which is a flagship organization in Luray, a big pillar of the business community. And so all shapes and sizes, we appreciate and love all of our clients.
I hear all of the time and have heard for years from those small and medium sized business owners. Some of them hate marketing. And I
Mhm.
don't know that hate is the right word because they're really just afraid of it. They don't know how to do it, they don't understand it. And so they tend to just ignore it, which is the worst thing that you
Yes.
can do. So having a resource like you is incredibly valuable when it's right there in their backyard.
We see that all the time, having this kind of this fear of marketing, of public relations, advertising, whatever that in their mind looks like. And the thing is people often wonder what the value of public relations or what the value of marketing really is. And I think it's because a lot of the time it's hard, it's difficult to understand. I see myself as an information source, really, first of all, a teacher in a lot of ways as to what the value of those things are. And we work really hard to orient our clients to that, not only in our own marketing and in our own outreach, but also on through the process. This is a learning experience for them. And we do everything that we can to support them. And sometimes that looks different for different clients. We often go as far as providing written guidebooks to explain, hey, why are we focusing on this? And how is this going to ladder to meet the goal that you have? And so breaking it down in that way has been really helpful. In rural areas, to your point, I think often what you hear is, if I had $1 for every time I'd heard this, I'd probably be a rich man. But it's word of mouth is king. Which is true. Word of mouth can make or break you. But at the same time, we have to supplement that in a world where we said is very noisy and where we have all this information thrown at us on a very regular basis. It's not as easy to keep the same mental real estate in people's mind as it was maybe 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. And I think that slowly the small and mid-sized business community is coming around to that idea. And I think that we've done a lot in the last 5 years to try to orient, especially folks in Page County, to what the value of that is. We've seen consistent growth that's manageable, which is important. We can't have explosive growth that we can't manage and that we can't deliver on. And I'm proud to say that we're now a team of 5 folks. We have some in-house graphics designers, some specializing in surface design, some specializing in digital. I kind of manage the project management and communications planning portion of things and oversee everything. We have a professional writer and some videography and photography folks as well. So we try to offer, like I said, a holistic look. We're not going to just give you services based on what we can provide. If we have to partner with another organization to get it done, we will, because one size fits all marketing is a myth. It just
And
is.
nobody can be good at all of the things.
Exactly.
I have recognized I am really good at creating the idea, explaining to you why it's important, and then how to distribute that message. But if you say, hey, I need you to design me a website, oh, no, that's not going to happen because you
Right.
don't have 10 years for me to figure out how to do that and to do that well. And I think
Exactly.
that's the beauty of having a company like yours is they wouldn't have to. You can do
Yes.
all of the things because you have the people at your disposal to be able to offer those services.
On the business side of things, some of the listeners may find this interesting if they have an entrepreneurial mind, is when you're a business owner, you think a lot about, okay, what is my overhead investment? And what is that investment? For a lot of organizations, service-based organizations, maybe that's vehicles, maybe that's equipment, something along those lines, tools. And for a communications firm, I think that's doing it the right way, their overhead investment is their people. right? Because just you hit the nail on the head. I cannot be an expert in everything. I can tell you undoubtedly that I'm an expert in communications planning and public relations planning and the execution of that, but I'm not an expert in website creation. I am not an expert in graphic design, and I'm big enough to admit that. And the thing is that what's really important is that the client gets the best service that we can possibly provide, and the only way that we can do that is with a team, a diverse team of people that are committed to working and performing for that client together. And so that's what we try to build. And on the other side of the coin, we do the very best that we can to take good care of those people and make sure that they are fulfilled and that they have broad authority in their field, right? They are the experts in their field. We have a veteran web designer. I like to call her the web wizard. Her name's Janelle Robish. And I always say, well, that's a question for the web wizard. And she's taught me a lot, and I can pick things up here and there just enough to get by. But I make no bones about the fact that the people who work for me are the real experts.
That overhead is important, not just in the people that you're employing, but then there comes with that professional development. There comes classes. There's a new technology that's available. You still have to maintain all of that for those people in order to stay on top of everything as well.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I think we do exceptionally well. And I always tell our staff, if you see a tool, if you see an opportunity, if you see educational opportunity that you think is going to elevate your ability to provide service to our customers and to develop you as a professional, bring it to me and we'll find a way, because we do have to stay on top of that. And I think that it's hard for people to realize in the moment, but things in the modern world in 2026 change so fast. They are changing at breakneck speed. And in order to stay relevant, in order to stay being able to provide the best service possible, we have to do those things. We have to stay on the top of the list of what are the best tools, what are the best programs, the best softwares, and the tactics to be able to get where we're going. We talk a lot about algorithms. That is a big part of our life, trying to hit the right piece of the algorithm for different clients and connect them with potential customers.
I always joke that I love algorithms because they change so often that people have to keep me employed in order to stay up with them. So
Exactly.
I'm not, I don't have a problem with algorithms. So
That's
if
fun.
someone is listening today and they didn't know you existed, or they didn't realize that this was part of what you can do for them, what can you do for them? Can they call you up and say, "Hey, I just need help with my social media," or "I just need help with the website," or is it an all-in big package deal? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we can offer both, really. So we do offer monthly retainer services where it's a holistic package, or we can talk about specific services that you need. If you guys have a super strong website and you maybe just had that redone and you're looking for folks to just help maybe keep the content updated on certain news pages and things, but you really want to focus on social media strategy and print design and regional visibility, those are things that we can package together and offer some competitive pricing in terms of being able to receive all of those services on a monthly basis. We can also do one-off projects. If you need just a website build and then it handed back over, or if you simply need social media management only, those are all things that we can accommodate. We also, as I said, offer professional videography, and we do that both in a drone capacity and on the ground. That's very trendy these days. Search
Right?
engine optimization for existing websites and traditional marketing, modern marketing through social media and Google Business. Just really depends on who you are and what your goals are and what type of business you're operating. We work with a lot of nonprofits. That is one of our flagship pieces of business. And a lot of times that's about visibility and about recognition and of understanding what their focus is and what their value is. And so we do everything from value communication and understanding all the way to paid advertising.
Nonprofits are tough because they have two markets in a lot of ways. They have the donor market where they have to make sure that people understand why you should give them their money. But then they
Mhm.
have the market that they serve to make sure that those people that need the services that that nonprofit offers know that they're there and that those services are available. So it gets tricky when you're looking at messaging for nonprofits sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of nonprofits in rural areas are closely tied as well to, in a way, like elected officials and local stakeholders. And so, how do you communicate with your local stakeholders to show them that you're on the ground, that you're doing what needs to be done? Also, you're always fundraising, you're always looking for donations or volunteers and keeping those people engaged. And then you're also trying to connect with your audience, whatever the services that you're offering. For example, PACA, that's a multifaceted organization that focuses on not only doing good work in the schools, but also providing summer activities, providing things like movie nights, providing fresh produce on a regular basis in the summer. I mean, they have a lot of irons in the fire. And so trying to make sure that all of those streams are communicated well and that we have a good plan moving forward as well, looking ahead. We try to prioritize proactivity, and I think that's something that a lot of organizations struggle with. And it's understandable because when you're a small and mid-sized organization, you own the company, but you also wear many other hats. You might be doing the accounting and administrative side of things and managing the employees. So we love to be able to take some of those things that aren't well understood, that kind of seem to be a struggle, and turn them into a real strength for the organization.
And here's the other beauty of what you provide is that you are able to explain to small and medium-sized businesses what they don't know. So
Yeah.
there could be somebody out there that thinks they're doing great and they're happy with the results that they're getting, and they have no idea that a
Mhm.
change here or a change there could double what those results are. They don't know what they don't know, and just having a conversation with you sometimes could be completely business changing.
Absolutely. And so, one of my favorite parts of the process, actually, for us is that when an organization or a business contacts us and is interested in our services, what we do is we take a look at everything that's available to us, from the website to their social media pages to any marketing material that they want to provide to us. And we do a comprehensive review of that. And we provide insights based on that of what's going really well and what maybe could be going a little bit better, or what a few strategy changes could do in that way. And one of the things that we always hear that always makes me smile so much is, I never even thought of that. I never even thought of that. And I'm like, oh, what? You're running your business 10 hours a day, 6, 7 days a week, and you never thought of that? It's not like you don't have anything else going on. And I think that being able to say, hey, this is not something I'm an expert in. This is something that we need an outside opinion sometimes to perfect or to perform as well as we want to, is a big thing. It's not easy for us human beings to always admit that we can't handle it all. And that investment that you put into amplifying your organization is never lost. I don't think that I've ever heard anyone say, I really regret promoting my organization, right? That's
Right.
just counterproductive.
And if you do it right, you will for years have people coming in because of something maybe they heard 6 months ago, maybe they heard a year and a half ago, or they ran into a friend the day before that
Yeah.
has worked with you. Marketing comes in so many different forms that it's hard to wrap your head around if you're not in that field, all of
Yeah.
the different options that are available to you.
Yes. And one of the things that I'm most proud of is that a lot of our clients come to us as referrals. We do well with our current clients, and then our current clients are out there singing our praises, which we're so appreciative of. And that's the goal, right? You always want to leave someone with the best impression, and also the follow through. You can make it sound really good in the beginning. A lot of organizations do. But at the end of the day, what are the results? What are you doing, and how available are you to that organization? And in a communications firm and in the marketing world, a lot of the time, I feel like what clients are paying for is access to experts. The work itself, I'm not saying that's not important, but what I am saying is that you go with a big communications firm, you're going to get one designated point of contact, and that one designated point of contact is going to be it. Whereas with an organization like White Wolf Communications Group, we're a roundtable and we prioritize that. I give those experts the room that they need to be experts. And so when we are looking at, it's we are taking a look at this because there are insights and information in there that everyone can benefit from and that can strengthen our strategy to move forward. So I think that that's one of the things that our clients really enjoy is the fact that they do have that access. If they need to go to Janelle directly and ask a website question, they can. If they want to run through me and then get connected to our surface design specialist, they can do that too. So we don't really gatekeep in the same way. And I think that makes folks feel a lot more comfortable and feel like there's really not something over here behind the curtain that they're not seeing.
So how can people find you? How can they reach out to you with questions or to start a conversation? What's the best first way?
A great way to learn more about White Wolf is to visit our website, whitewolfcg.com. You can learn more about our services, our success stories, some of the current clients that we represent. And there's also a good way there, contact form. You can get in contact with us as well. You can also reach out to us via email, contact@whitewolfcg.com. We also have Google business listings. So if you Google us, feel free to just give me a call. I'm always down for that as well. In a world where everybody wants to send a text message, you can call me. I promise you can call me, because as someone who is in the marketing communications world, you know that minutes are minutes. We have got to manage the minutes. I don't always have time to type back, but I can talk to you while I'm doing something else is probably the chance, right? So
yeah, that's where you and I differ, because I don't want to talk to anybody. I do this all day long. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. So, but yes, feel free to give us a call, visit our website, shoot us an email. We're also active on Facebook, which is the #1 social media in rural America. So we've got to be there. We have an active presence on Facebook, and you're always welcome to reach out to us there as well.
Thank you, Colton, for taking the time today to give me some insight. I appreciate knowing that there is another me in Page County that I can call and commiserate with sometimes.
That's right, Janet. You call me anytime. I appreciate you, and thank you for making this space for myself and for White Wolf, and we really appreciate it.
Well, that's it for me today. But before I go, Gina wanted me to remind everyone about a few upcoming chamber events. On Thursday, June 18th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. is Business After Hours. It is being hosted at El Vesuvio Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Remember, you do not need to be a chamber member to attend one of these. It's a great opportunity for you to give the chamber a test drive. On Wednesday, June 24th from 11:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. is a lunch and learn entitled Accessing Capital for Startups and Small Businesses. That is being held in the Chamber Boardroom at 18 Campbell Street in Luray. Leslie Currle with People Inc. Financial Services will be the speaker for a very informative session geared towards startups and small business owners. This event is part of a new quarterly series that is being launched in Page County called Capital Readiness for Small Businesses. It is designed to strengthen local businesses and expand access to capital. You can get more information and registration details for all of the chamber events on their website at Luray-Page-Chamber.com. I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today, just a few minutes after noon, so meet me here then.